Are you confused by all the different types of acrylic brushes out there? Let me explain what they do and which ones you need. Hi there, I'm Janine, I'm an artist and I share my creative journey on this channel. If you're a beginner, you're probably a little overwhelmed by all the brushes out there. It's good to have a variety of brush types and sizes, but you do not have to go out and buy specialist acrylic brushes. Some of my favourite brushes are actually not meant for acrylic painting at all. These are the brushes I use most in my work, so I thought I'd just show you quickly what they do, how I use them. This is your simple everyday round brush. So I would dip it in water, take some paint, and then you know how you can make those like the petal shaped marks. I don't actually do that very much. I would probably use it for kind of lines and also like scrubbing it like this, especially with not too much paint, so it's kind of dry brushing. And also I like to put down larger areas with these because it creates a lot of texture. You always see the brush marks. And then this is a pretty common standard flat brush. It actually came in a pack with this and one even larger. I'm not showing you the really large ones. And with that you can, with not very little paint you get really nice stripy effects. And if you use more paint, then you can get quite bold blocks of colour down that are much calmer than something I'd do with a smaller round brush. You can also use it sideways to make stripes, or something I very much like to do is just move it around randomly and it creates these really random marks. Push down more or lift it up and apply less pressure, and that creates a really nice variety in marks. The bigger version I basically use exactly the same and even bigger ones. What I also like to do with the bigger flat brushes is mix my paint with a bit of water or flow medium, so it becomes more liquid, and then you can get these really nice soft areas that are a bit like watercolor. Or again, just move them quite randomly. This is a filbert brush, which is kind of got this rounded tip, but from the side it's like a flat brush. And I use this pretty much the same as a flat brush, but it does add a bit more variety in your marks. You can also like push it down and create this kind of effect. It's quite interesting. I don't think I've done this before. And this is a hog bristle brush, which is very rough. It's very good for first obviously creating lots of texture and for dry brushing. So if I see if I can get only very little paint on my brush and then kind of scrub, you can create really nice texture this way. Like a transparent texture. I really like doing that. I think I'll need a new piece of paper for these last few ones. This one is just a brush from the hardware store, which I use pretty much the same as this one, just that it's got longer bristles. So you have a little bit less control over it and it makes a bit more organic marks.
If you like this video, consider subscribing.
Also good for dry brushing. This is also from the hardware store. I really like this for larger work. It's a bit like your average round brush, but much bigger because it's got a long handle. It's very good for letting go of control a little bit. I really like doing these kind of marks. And last but not least, I really love this makeup brush. It's from Poundland, which is a bit like the dollar store in the UK. It's a makeup brush and it's super soft. And see how it holds a lot of paint, so you can get down quite a large area. And it's also great for glazing if you mix your paint with water or some glazing fluid, and then you can go over your painting and add a transparent layer really easily and fairly smoothly with this brush. Or you can make these stripy marks and little dots too, if you feel so inclined. I think this has actually been my favourite brush lately. Don't go out buying a lot of expensive brushes, especially for abstract work. The cheap ones really do the trick. Check your local hardware store or even the kids' craft section for some really affordable and unique brushes. What are your favourite brushes? Let me know in the comments. If you want to know the basics of acrylic paint, I've made a video explaining everything you need to know, and I've linked it in the description box below this video. Thanks and bye bye.